You know, I was talking with my neighbor Margaret just last week, sharp as a tack at 72, and she said something that really stuck with me. Some days, she told me, it feels like my thoughts are moving through molasses. Now, if you've ever had that frustrating feeling, where names slip your mind or you walk into a room and forget why, I want you to know something important. It might not just be age. What if I told you some everyday foods could be quietly speeding up your brain's aging process? After reviewing dozens of studies and talking with nutrition experts, I've discovered 5 common foods that research shows can actually shrink your memory center, cloud your thinking, and even increase dementia risk. The scary part? Many of us eat these regularly without realizing the harm they're doing. But here's the good news. Once you know what they are, you can make simple swaps that protect your brain while still enjoying delicious. Let's start with the first brain egger. And this one might surprise you because it's probably in your kitchen right now. This innocent-looking white bread, and its cousins like white rice pastries and most breakfast cereals, are what we call refined carbohydrates. Here's what happens. When you eat them, your body processes them almost identical to straight sugar. That sudden spike floods your brain with glucose, causing inflammation that damages delicate neural connections over time. A fascinating study from the Mayo Clinic followed older adults for years and found those who ate the most refined carbs had nearly 4 times the risk of mild cognitive impairment compared to those who ate the least. That's not just forgetfulness. That's your brain structure actually changing. Now, I'm not saying you need to give up carbs entirely. Just upgrade them. Switch to 100% whole grain bread. Look for whole wheat flour as the first ingredient. Try quinoa instead of white rice, or experiment with spiralized zucchini if you're feeling adventurous. Margaret made this switch last month and told me she's noticed her afternoon fog lifting. Now this next one really gets me fired up, because for decades we've been told vegetable oils like soybean, corn, and sunflower oil are the heart-healthy choice. But when it comes to your brain, nothing could be further from the truth. These oils are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, and while we need some omega acids, the modern diet gives us 20 times more than our ancestors ate. This imbalance creates chronic inflammation that damages brain cells. Dr. Lisa Mosconi, a leading neuroscientist at Weill Cornell, found that people with high omega-6 levels had brains that looked 3 years older on scans than their actual age. The fix is simpler than you think. For low-heat cooking, use extra virgin olive oil. It contains antioxidants that protect your brain. For higher heat, try avocado oil. And don't fear butter or coconut oil in moderation. Our grandparents cooked with them and stayed sharp well into their golden years. Now, I know changing lifelong eating habits isn't easy. Maybe you're thinking, but I've used these oils for decades. Here's what I tell my own mother. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Start by replacing just one item this week. Maybe swap that vegetable oil for olive oil when you saute vegetables. Small steps lead to big changes. And wait until you hear about the third dangerous food. This one hides in so many diet products and might be the most surprising of all. Let's talk about why that sugar-free snack could be sabotaging your memory. Let me tell you about my friend Bob, switched to diet soda 10 years ago to be healthier. Now at 68, he's wondering why he can't remember where he parked at the grocery store. Sound familiar? Well, what if I told you that zero-calorie sweetener might be part of the problem? This right here, aspartame, sucralose, all those sugar substitutes in diet drinks and no sugar-added snacks. They're like wolves in sheep's clothing for your brain. A groundbreaking study from Boston University found people who drank diet soda daily were nearly 3 times as likely to develop dementia. Here's why. These artificial chemicals confuse your gut bacteria. And since your gut and brain are in constant communication to the gut-brain axis, that confusion leads to inflammation in your memory centers. It's like your neurons are getting static instead of clear signals. The solution? Nature's candy. When that sweet craving hits, try frozen grapes, a handful of blueberries, or even a square of 70% dark chocolate. The fiber in fruit slows sugar absorption, and dark chocolate contains brain-boosting flavonoids. After 2 weeks, Bob told me he didn't even miss his diet soda, and his crossword puzzle times improved. Now let's talk about lunchtime favorites: bacon, sausage, deli meats. Convenient? Absolutely. Good for your brain? Unfortunately not. These processed meats contain nitrates, preservatives that form harmful compounds called nitrosamines in your body, compounds directly linked to brain tissue damage. A University of Leeds study tracking older adults found those eating just 25 grams of processed meat daily, that's about 2 slices of bacon, had a 44% higher risk of dementia. That morning sausage habit might be costing you more than you realize. The fix doesn't mean giving up protein, just better choices. Fresh roasted chicken, wild-caught fish, especially salmon for those omega-3s, or plant proteins like lentils and beans. My buddy Jim makes a killer chicken salad with walnuts and apples. The crunch satisfies that bacon craving with brain benefits instead of harm. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, but these foods are staples in my kitchen. And I get it. Change is hard. Maybe start with one swap this week. Trade the ham sandwich for a tuna salad, or try unsweetened iced tea instead of diet soda. Small steps create big results over time. Because here's the beautiful truth. Your brain is remarkably resilient at any age. Just like Margaret, who got her mental clarity back, and Bob, who's remembering names again. You have more power over your brain health than you think. And that brings us to the fifth and final food. This one's particularly sneaky because it's hiding in so many healthy foods. Let's talk about how your breakfast cereal might be aging your brain faster than your years. You know what really gets me? Walking down the cereal aisle and seeing boxes labeled heart healthy or whole grain. They're actually the fifth and final brain-aging food on our list. This isn't just about sugar. It's about what happens when real food gets turned into something your brain doesn't even recognize. See this? Whole grain cereal that's been pulverized, extruded, and loaded with preservatives. Those breakfast bars, instant oatmeal packets, even some protein shakes. They may claim to be good for you, but ultra-processing strips away nutrients and alters food structure in ways that spike blood sugar faster than table sugar. A 2022 study in neurology found seniors eating the most processed foods had 28% faster cognitive decline. Why? These factory-made foods lack the natural matrix of fibers and nutrients that slow digestion. Your brain gets hit with a glucose tsunami, followed by an energy crash that leaves you foggy. The solution is deliciously simple. Choose foods that look like they came from nature, not a lab. Steel-cut oats with cinnamon and walnuts takes just 5 minutes in the microwave. Hard-boiled eggs with avocado toast on real whole grain bread. These give you steady energy without the brain drain. Let me show you what my fridge looks like since making these changes. Leafy greens loaded with brain-protecting folate, wild blueberries for antioxidant power, fatty fish like salmon, nuts and seeds for crunch, and dark chocolate for when I need something sweet. And here's my golden rule. If your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, think twice. That eliminates most of the brain-aging foods we've covered today. Remember Margaret from the beginning? After cutting out these 5 foods, she texted me last week saying she finally remembered all her grandchildren's birthdays without checking her calendar. And Bob, he's back to beating me at chess every Sunday. These aren't miracles. It's just what happens when you stop poisoning your brain and start nourishing it. Your neurons have an amazing ability to heal when given the right tools. Here's what I want you to do this week. Pick one of these brain-aging foods to reduce or eliminate. Maybe it's swapping diet soda for sparkling water with lemon, or choosing fresh roasted turkey instead of deli meat. Small changes create big results. And I want to hear from you. Which of these foods surprise you most? What swaps have you already made? Share in the comments. Your experience could inspire someone else on their brain health journey. Your brain is the most sophisticated organ in the universe, and it deserves the best fuel. At 60, 70, 80, and beyond, you have the power to keep your mind sharp and your memories vivid. It starts with what you put on your fork today. If this video helped you, do me a favor. Hit that like button so YouTube shares it with others who need to see it. Subscribe for more science-backed tips to thrive in your golden years. And remember, every meal is a chance to nourish your brilliant brain. Here's to your health, your memories, and your sharp, vibrant future. Before we wrap up, I want to say a heartfelt thank you for joining me today. Your commitment to your brain health is truly inspiring. If this video helped you see your food choices in a new light, I'd love your support. Hit that like button below so we can reach more people who need this information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We're here every week with science-backed, practical tips to help you thrive in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Now, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Have you already made some brain-healthy swaps? Your experiences could be the encouragement someone else needs to start their journey. Let's build a community where we learn and grow together. Remember, every small change you make is a victory for your brain health. Here's to staying sharp, vibrant, and full of life at every age. Until next time, keep nourishing that brilliant mind of yours.